Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video we are taking a look at strategy or MicroStrategy, however you want to call it. We'll take a look at its price action. We'll take a look at should you be buying strategy at this point? Has strategy bottomed over here? And we'll take a look at its correlation with the Bitcoin and also what Bitcoin moves can give us in strategy. So let's take a look at the price action. And with that, I also want to let you know first, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. And also, if you are interested in many other stocks trade plan, you can check out my collections on Patreon. Link you will find in the description of this video. All right, so coming back over here to strategy, we have been falling on this thing for pretty much forever now, right? It's been bearish. If, as I have said previously, if you have access to my tools, we turned bearish at 437. We got some rebounds along the ways, but our technical bearishness started at 437, and it's been pretty much 5-6 months that it's just been trending downwards. Okay, so let's see here that where the price is right now, we are seeing some stabilization over here. But is this stabilization enough? Not so, not quite yet. It's still in the downward structure for us, the strategy. All right, it's still in the downward structure, but with Bitcoin stabilizing. So for a moment, let's jump on to Bitcoin. Now, for detailed analysis on Bitcoin, you can check my video out on my YouTube that I did just today, right over here, Bitcoin rally coming. That will give you a lot of insight into the Bitcoin's price action. Because in this video, I just want to focus on, as the Bitcoin moves, what levels are we watching in the strategy for a potential buy, right? So Bitcoin, as I said in the other video as well, that I do expect a rally happen in Bitcoin in coming weeks. Definitely the zone is 89,000 and above with the break of the lower moving trend line. We need to get above that. But that may not necessarily make strategy like full on in its structure bullish. It may start to give early on confirmation. And so what's that zone? What's that level of early on confirmation? That is 174. If strategy, as when Bitcoin breaks out and above of $89,000, and with that lower moving trend line that I showed you on Bitcoin chart, and together with, we can see a break above $174 on strategy and close of the daily candle above that. It's a telltale sign, an early indication that strategy may soon start to gain its momentum strength. Okay, now full on bullishness on strategy, like the longevity of a proper uptrend on strategy, will not begin until $200, $190 to $200. That's the zone. We need to get above that overall and stay above that for a couple of days to make strategy become strengthful again. Now, while I'm talking about that, there is a lot more that depends on how many Bitcoin Saylor bought this particular week. Now, that brings me to the strategies, recent acquisitions, and where the average price is, what are their recent buys, and at what price points of Bitcoins that they have done. So their recent buys from the last 2 weeks, which are not even almost last 2 weeks, they are not even few Bitcoin. They are huge, high number of Bitcoins at 10,645 and 10,624 at 92,000 and 90,000 approximate respectively, the costs. And Bitcoin is hovering right around that area right now. So it helps strategy to compound on the gains of Bitcoin, provided Bitcoin continues up. Because the thing is that, yes, even though Bitcoin continues above $92,000 and $94,000. The reason for that is, even though strategy's Bitcoin average is at $75,000 almost, that in itself will not make strategy to also go up. Yes, you can argue that, hey, the strategy's average on Bitcoin is way cheaper than Bitcoin's price, so why is it still falling? Because there was a price detachment early on from strategy. Stocks don't always perfectly trade to their respective value, guys. Okay, they will overshoot. They will on both sides. I mean, they will overshoot on both sides, above and below. So these were like extensions. And when I did videos on strategy back then as well, I talked to you guys about this is the top. You will have to go really back, last year on my channel to check those videos out. But and then thereafter we did have a lot of downside there, and we did take this upside trades as well. If you're on my Patreon, I talked about all of this there as well. And then we became bearish. My tools will also give you all these signals and everything if you have access to my tools. If you don't, check out the details in the description of this video if you need access to my tools. Now from here, and that's the whole reason that we need to a little bit get closer to their recent acquisitions and correlate that with Bitcoin's price, because what we are seeing is that strategy is no longer falling, so the price is a little bit getting in correlation with Bitcoin at this point, with Bitcoin movement, okay, which is very similar if you look at this price action on strategy with the Bitcoin's price action lately. It may not be one to one or apple to apple comparison, but it's very similar. Considering while back over here, Bitcoin was going sideways, strategy was falling, right? Let me get back to strategy here. And strategy was falling. So there was lack of correlation because we did overshoot, okay? And then also strategy has been raising money through diluting shares. But that's what brings me to the next point is their dilution. This is not a huge dilution, guys, okay? There's still good amount of it's still very constrained. It's like the problem is that when the dilution is really high. So if you look at their shares dilution from 2020 all the way to 2024, they more than doubled their dilution here from 124, 510 to 281 and 70, 735. But compared to then 2024, which is sure, it's a 4-year period, okay? But then from there on until here, because they have acquired a lot more Bitcoin, right, along the times. And so their dilution is, I would say, recently, yes, they have diluted shares, but it's okay. It's not that bad, but yes, definitely it's affecting the stock price for sure. That mismatch of little bit of correlation is affected. And then they also have debt there, right? So on the balance sheet. So anyhow, but what we are seeing in the price action is a correlation with Bitcoin. So that is an important aspect here. So provided Bitcoin continue above 89.94, and hopefully Saylor bought this week as well Bitcoin, and closer to our average has to be around 90,000 again, or 89,000. That's where the price hovered. So that will, and provided in coming weeks Bitcoin goes up above 94, 95, closer to 100,000, that gives a lot of benefit to strategy stock price here, okay? We are no longer, because we, as I just explained, we have found some correlation of one-on-one price action with Bitcoin at this price point of strategy. And and the recent acquisitions are also in the close vicinity of the, where the price action is of Bitcoin. So it helps to attach more and more price action of Bitcoin to strategy. But to have your little bit of a extra confirmation on strategy, you still have to see this as strategy in itself, a stock of its own trading principles. And for that, the first level that you will have to watch is 108 and 74, and then for longevity is about 190 to $200. That only what will get the strategy to push up with some much more strength, and that will mostly mark the bottom over here on strategy. So that's the price action, that's the correlation between strategy and Bitcoin that I want to talk about. And then just before wrapping up, I want to take you over Citi sets 12-month Bitcoin forecast at 143,000 on rising adoption, regulatory easing. And they also set for Ethereum at 4,304 and for Bitcoin 143,000. It's a 62% upside almost on Bitcoin, as but these are just their forecasts. You shouldn't just fully go by their forecast. Important point is that following the price action. All right, so that's all what I want to talk about in this video, guys, for strategy. And let's see if these coming weeks we will see a rally to the upside. We'll see. But things are looking promising right now, but we'll see. Okay, we'll have to trade with the levels and confirmations. Okay, that's all I had for you in this video. If you are interested in a lot more services and my tools, check out the details in the description of this video. All right, guys, with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. Bye.